At One Digital Agency, we're an elite rated partner for designing and developing BigCommerce websites. Today we're talking with Art Tran, One Digital's head designer, about some of the common questions that merchants ask us when considering the custom design process. When should a BigCommerce merchant consider custom design for their website?
Well, I think you probably want to look at the standard offering, templates or whatever that you're looking to buy a certain style of template, and you look at it, usually there's a demo. You'd go in there and poke around, and then you click on different links and see how it interacts and how your products or how your services might fit into that template. If it's a really nice template and you really want to use it, and it doesn't seem to quite fit into your needs, then you'd start thinking about having it custom designed.
What separates custom design from the templates that BigCommerce provides?
Well, as the name suggests, templates are usually, it's set up to be very easily implemented. So it's supposed to fit a lot of needs. So a lot of merchants can come in and just use a typical, whatever the standard offering is. And then there are maybe a handful or even a bigger handful where they feel like the products or the services is just not fitting quite into that mold that would probably work for most vendors or most merchants, but theirs is a little bit different and they want to customize it.
What should a merchant consider when choosing a template to customize?
Well, I guess it's important to know what exactly you want your site to do. It's not just the look and feel, but also the functionality of how you want your user who sits down interact with your site. You have to see in your mind how that user goes from the beginning, landing on your page, how you want the user to click through and eventually convert and click the add to cart and eventually check out. So you have to understand what exactly that you want the customer to do as they interact with your site.
What do you need to know before you go into designing a BigCommerce site?
Well, I guess it would help to know exactly what the merchant is selling, to go to the site, get immersive with it, click through the products, understand what the product is, understand the choices that you might have to take to order certain kinds of product, the variations of the product. Basically just immerse yourself and try to understand what the product is. And as a designer, once you understand that and you put yourself in the user's point of view, you work backward and see how you can best help the user go through that whole buying step and what they will see, what you want them to see as a merchant, and how you want to help them narrow down their focus and eventually add to cart and check out.
What are particularly popular design elements for BigCommerce stores?
Make it clean, lots of white space so that the focus is on the product. I think with a lot of templates and designs out there right now, I think that's an understanding of these designers. They're creating templates that have just open design where it's very responsive. When you flex the browser window, you can see the products more clearly. And there's a certain look and feel that the merchants are used to, the user are used to. So for the most part, the template, if it's a good template, it's already set up in terms of how things flow. And there's a sort of like an understanding of how that flow is. So most of the templates will look relatively similar. It's a matter of functionality and putting a facelift on it.
What design advice do you give merchants when they ask for a custom BigCommerce site?
For the most part, when a merchant comes to us to have a page custom design, they already have an idea of what they want, and we would provide them, confirm what they want in their minds, and also provide certain recommendations. One of the things I find that the merchants like is the full bleed of the image of their either a lifestyle image or their product image. Full bleed meaning it goes from the left and right side of the edge of the page, and it just bleeds off the page, as opposed to having white borders on both sides. I think it's exciting to see the website when you get there, to see this sort of like cinematic view of the image, whether it speaks about the product or the lifestyle that the site is trying to kind of get the emotional feel from you. Another one is some customers, some merchants, they have certain benefits that separates them from the competitors. So they want these benefit points to be put on the homepage, and we call them the badges or benefit badges, where we design icons around them to make them look a certain way, and also to basically set them apart from their competitors. Another one is, although most merchants will have nice images to start, we also want them to think about, when getting images together for products, that they should have like a white background, so it's more versatile, as opposed to taking a picture with lots of things in the background. So those are the main things that we either recommend or they already know to start.
What are the differences when designing a business-to-business facing e-commerce site as opposed to a business-to-consumer site?
Regardless whether it's, so mostly business-to-business, usually it's product and service related. Business-to-consumer, usually it's a lifestyle, and you want to make the pictures more pertinent to the user, to the end user, where they're not just selling the product, but selling, sort of like a lifestyle, how they imagine this product will, play a part of their life, whether they believe in the product. So that's the major difference. Is business to business is relatively drier, so to speak, quote unquote, and business to consumer, it's more playful, more edutainment, combination of education and entertainment of the product, and also there has to be a level of delight when the customers, when the end user visits the site. Even it's an e-commerce, there's a level of sort of like you click on this and you see a certain picture or a certain effect. That level of delight, whether it's a big delight or a small delight, it helps to engage the customer.
How long does it typically take you to complete a custom design project?
On average, for the homepage, which is the first thing we work on, we, as part of the deliverable, we promise the client to be have the homepage design delivered the first round, 5 to 7 days, and we make good on that promise. And then the homepage, we allot 5 revisions, and the life of that homepage usually, on average, takes about 2 or 3 weeks from start to completion.
Is there anything the client can do to speed up the design process?
The client has time and is more focused on the review process. It definitely, if the client is dedicated to reviewing and working with us on the design and the mock-ups, providing comments, yes, that would definitely help to increase or make the review process go faster and the approval process go faster. However, we have clients who are really busy with their regular, business, and they don't get a chance to look at the design and review it. They might touch base with us like once or twice a week. That's relatively like a long period of time for a review process. So we have a few of those, but for the most part, most clients are excited about the design, and they often provide feedback relatively quickly.